My name is James Overton. I'm the Director of Field Operations for AK9I. So AK9I was founded in 2001. We are a nationally accredited trade school that focuses on the training and education of handlers and dogs. We also have an operational side as well that we provide canine support for a variety of clients. Most recently working for Hampton City Schools and Newport News Public Schools, as well as providing all the bomb dogs for Busch Gardens. We also have some contracts with some area rehab clinics where we'll bring in narcotics dogs to help support their operations as well. We also support a bunch of other companies that are doing stuff for the NFL, the NBA, amusement parks and concert venues, music festivals all over the country. One of the most recent developments for AK9I is that we've been purchased by a new company called Bronner Group Canine Services. The new owner of the company is Ron Bronner. He will be the sole owner of the company once the transition is complete. We have a new member of our team, Tim Baird. He brings a wealth of information and knowledge from the canine world. So we're looking forward to some really great things as this transition moves forward.
Well, there is different breeds that work better than others. The most popular breed is, of course, the 20-year dogs, German Shepherds, Mals. And our biggest dogs we get are crosses. They're Mal Shepherd crosses. So you get the high drive of the Malinois and the brains of the German Shepherd. So those are the most important dogs that we use here. We use a lot of Labradors and then sporting breeds. Sporting breed dogs are the big thing in detection across the country. Everybody's kind of going away from the 20-year dogs, but they're very hard to find. Selection of the dogs, number one, they have to have extreme motivation for a toy. And want to work and please. There's places out there that raise dogs specifically for this, and we get a lot of our dogs from Europe. So our dogs come in from Europe because that's how we go over there, and I can look at 150 dogs in a couple of day period very easily. I'd have to drive all the way across the country in different places to be able to find that many dogs. So we look for extreme high drive for the toy and environmental exposure, that the dogs are good in environments, because we never know where they're going to work at. So they can't see something and booger at it that's going to bother them. So we were able to take the dogs and we check them a lot for the environmental exposures, and they're good in that manner.
So a lot of the folks don't realize how big the private sector canine market is. And we've seen a huge, and pardon the pun, huge explosion in the use of private sector canines to help safeguard facilities such as NFL stadiums, concert venues, amusement parks, and most recently public schools. Most of the law enforcement agencies they're so understaffed and just don't have the resources to be able to support places like that. So that's kind of where we've been filling that gap and with AK9I. So for folks in this area, if you go to Busch Gardens Amusement Park, you might see one of our canine teams out there, or if you go to a sporting event at either Hampton City Schools or Newport News Public Schools, you might see some of our canine teams supporting them as well. For me, I think the ideal candidate is going to be somebody that has a sense of service. They want to be part of something that gives back. We get a lot of veterans that come through our course here. We get a lot of veterans that are looking for a new sense of purpose, looking for a place for them to belong post-graduation. But we see a lot of veterans that are looking for that next step, after their military service. And the great thing about here is it allows them to be able to not only get that new sense of purpose, our catchphrase is unleash your purpose, kind of a play on leash and all of that. But what it allows them to do is they can either take the dog and the certification they get from us and go work for other companies, working as a canine handler or as a dog trainer, or they can take the skills they learn from us and open up their own company, whether it's doing board and train, training dogs for regular pet obedience, or becoming a handler working for the NFL or the NBA, or even doing bed bug detection or doing mold detection or doing currency detection or electronic. There's so many different avenues and facets they can get into as a handler. So this is really more about vocational rehabilitation for the veteran community, as well as those that are interested in getting into a career in canine. We see a lot of folks that are coming through here that they don't have a desire to go to college, or go to another trade school. They want to work with animals, and this is a great place for that to start. Well, first, for the most, I would say that, if you're interested in working in canine, do your research. Have a plan for what you want to do, once you graduate the course, and come out and do a ride along, and find somebody that's actually working in, the area that you want to be in, and see if that's a fit for you, and if it fits, not just your professional goals, but also your family goals. Is the spouse going to be okay with, having a working animal in the home? Because it is a lot to take in. It's not just, when you're done for that 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 job, that dog comes home with you and he's part of the family essentially. And so it's a huge commitment. So I definitely think examining what goals you have for your career, I think is super important. And then just sort of doing the research. I think the biggest misconception that folks have is what these dogs are capable of doing. Whether it's, something as simple as, training for, rodent detection or, bed bug detection. They have no idea that the dogs are capable, number one, of doing this. They also don't realize the opportunities in the private sector for being able to go out and get work as a canine handler or even a dog trainer, and how successful they can be. I think that's probably the biggest thing. A lot of people, when they hear the word canine, they assume it's like cops on TV, where the dog is taking down the bad guy. And while, yes, we can train dogs for those patrol applications, there's so many other facets of the canine world that people just don't really understand that they can get into. They either think it's cops on TV, or they think it's like John Wick when Halle Berry had those awesome dogs in the movie. And it's just, there's so many other applications that these dogs are capable of doing. So I met a veteran, this was about 3 years ago, met him at a job fair, and he just had a look on his face that he had just kind of lost everything. He comes up to me and asks what A-Canine is about and what we do here. And, I gave him the spiel, told him everything. He's like, well, this sounds great. He's like, but I out-processed from the Navy in 2 days. Just found out that my wife's been having an affair, and I don't know where I'm going to go. I have no job. I have nothing lined up. When can I start? And we happen to have a class starting that Monday, and he's like, that sounds great. Can I check into the dorms early? So we worked it out, let him come to the dorms a little early, and then he shows up for class Monday. And from day one, I saw a change in him every single day, to where his sense of pride was coming back, his sense of purpose was coming back. And you could tell, like, every day he'd walk a little taller coming to class. Then he graduates and he gets out. He's working with the NFL, working for another company, doing canine support all over the country, doing different stadiums and concert venues and stuff. And he comes up to me. I see him at an event 6 months later. He comes up to me and he's like, hey, James, I just wanted to say thank you. And I was like, well, for what? I didn't do anything. I just helped you find the course. He's like, no. He's like, A-Canine and the course saved my life. And I didn't understand at the time, but what he meant was it gave him that new sense of purpose that he was looking for after the military. He had planned on taking his life that weekend because he just didn't know where he was going to go. And to see the transformation from, this broken shell of a man to when he graduates and he's with his canine partner and he's got this new outlook on life, it was huge. And that really hit home for me. And that's sort of what has given me the passion for what we do here at A-Canine.
American soldier, because our main purpose here is to help veterans. That's what we do the most, and our veterans have put everything on the line for us, and it's a way for us to give back to them, to help them with a new career, and there's nothing better than working with a dog.
The game of odor detection to the dog. So you see how he kept going back to the disc. Inside the disc is impregnated with the odor of gunpowder. And basically what Tim is doing is introducing the game to him so that he understands that when he smells the target odor, he gets his reward. And that's what we're doing here.